Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 1620 podcast in beautiful downtown Victoria, where today, Sunshine Brown is the main attraction, and that's what the action is all about, positive vibes. We've got on the show today our producer, Robin Unger, High Noon Guy. We got Jeremiah Johnson, Gia Righteous, Armstrong. He's creative director and all things good about this show. And Kit Warren, the commish. He is the executive producer of this show. But most importantly, we have Sunshine Brown on the show, and she is going to help us all become much more positive and powerful through our practices and actions. Welcome, Sunshine Brown, to the High Noon Show.
Welcome.
Thank you. What a beautiful introduction, Ken. Thank you for that.
You're a beautiful person, inside note.
Thank you.
We've got to know each other.
I am but a
once in
reflection
while.
of you, so thank you.
Thank you. So what do you want to talk about today? You've got so many great messages to get out there, and it's nice to have a woman on the show. For a while, it's been a lot of dudes, so this is good.
I haven't noticed.
What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, I only have 60 minutes, right?
Sure. How did you get started in the business of being positive with your health and longevity, and how you're helping other people? So was there a start?
Yes, there actually is a start, and I was sharing earlier that I became Sunshine Brown. That is my name. It's legally my name. I have a new birth certificate with Sunshine Brown. I have completely emerged into who she is, but I was born Nicole Marie. And Nicole went through a journey, which has now become a journey for Sunshine. And, I always knew that I was to be in the service of others and to help those who couldn't help themselves. And I knew that at a very young age. And I went into long-term health care so I could be there for those who had no one or just needed some support in life. And I went into recreation, which provides a quality of life for those who cannot provide one for themselves, and activities of daily living, providing programming for them, but also having a connection with one very intimate connection. You fall in love with these people. However, there was a side of healthcare that I could no longer be a part of, and that was the industry side. And I came to a point where I felt my own soul essence diminishing, and I knew I had to get out of there. And my body started having signs to support that. I developed foot problems, and to me that meant that I really wasn't walking my true path anymore. And
is that because it's your ground chakra area? Is that why you associate it with a foot problem and then a pathway in life problem?
Absolutely. And just not being true to myself. And, even though I would go to work and be who I am, and it was through that job that I learned what a high sensitive empath is, which is exactly why when I could tell when someone who could not communicate it, that they needed a drink, or they were uncomfortable, and I could provide that from them because I could communicate with their energy, and I heard them as if their voice was going into my ears.
Through you heard their thoughts,
I heard
or
their
heard
thoughts.
their speech. So
I heard their thoughts.
Yeah.
Right. And I loved my job. I absolutely loved my job. But it wasn't providing holistic, it was very difficult to stay true to myself and be in that industry. And in 2016, actually December 2nd, 2016, I ended up in Kelowna, and a week before that, my spouse, my partner, Bodie, woke up out of a dream, and he said, I just had a dream I was in a drumming circle, and I got really jealous. I was like, oh man, I've always wanted to be a part of a drumming circle.
Yeah.
Why did I always want to be a part of a drumming circle? Where did that desire even come from? So fast forward a week, we're on a plane, gets to Kelowna, we're driving in a car, and I turn to him and I say, how do we know these people? And he said, we don't. He met this man at a business meeting and their souls connected. He came home, he was just lit up. And so he's like, I feel like I should call so-and-so. And I was like, okay. And the guy was like, yeah, we're having a drumming circle next week. You guys are more than welcome to come. And I was like, what?
Perfect.
So we go and we do this drumming circle, and I'm something in my DNA responded to that. And I could not get enough of it. And the man who was
musical healing.
Yeah, and I think that it was that's when the awakening in myself was happening.
Cool.
Right? And what is it in me? So this is just, I just was on this some kind of high. I don't even know. And the next day, this is so weird. These people were like our mere reflection.
Yeah.
I even guessed that I was like, you're a Gemini, aren't you? Just from the way she moved, because Gemini's no Geminis. You being a Gemini yourself, get
totally.
that. And so the girl says, why don't we do mushrooms? And I was like, oh, okay, right? But we'd been sharing, marijuana.
What type of mushrooms are we talking
We're
about?
talking the real magical kind.
Magical mushrooms. So,
The
so at a
divine
low
kinds,
dose, or
yeah.
at what type of
Well,
dosage?
she says, we'll just do a micro dose.
Okay.
And to me, I was like, I'm kind of a virgin here.
Yep.
When it came, my system was pure, and except for all the edibles we did that weekend. And I guess because
pure to the essence that the norm of the normal world was pure.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm just innocent with what's coming, right?
Yep.
I have no idea what this is. Because she said microdose, it felt safe.
Yes. Well, it's not a massive, a new understanding. It'll be small steps.
Yes.
Because I think the mushroom connects yourself to yourself, and
I agree.
you're gaining more senses of your ecosystem.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
You are the earth, right?
Yep.
They're so divine. They're perfect just as they are.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what the mushroom has taught me is that you are that mushroom,
Yep.
right?
Well, we're 60% mushroom.
Yeah.
Is throughout our body are different yeasts and funguses, and we're an ecosystem as well, and it's what we feed. Yeah, right. So maybe we should bring up some of the health and wellness Google stuff on this ecosystem that we have.
Well, you put out videos daily about your tub talks and the mushrooms, and
having the baths,
which everyone should check out, by the way.
Did you like that? They're funny.
Well, you're the reason why I'm walking in the forest, find a big ass mushroom, and I'm like, oh, there's Kit. Like I see your head bopping around in your bathtub.
Well, I like to do the wave and mimic the ocean and the breath or the tempo of the planet.
Your tub talks make me feel good,
Cool.
so I'll watch them.
Cool.
And if you want to feel good, watch a tub talk. Kit Warren.
And Dr. Andrew McLean, your sensei, your teacher, or how do you say?
He's definitely my teacher. I am
a
student.
He grabbed a bunch of stuff when we were in Lima and put it in his tub. Like he grabbed 14 different vegetables and fruit and said, "I'm going home and have a great bath." So I totally get the absorption of all these beautiful medicines in the tub in the water, and how it would make you feel better inside.
Well, basically, your skin drinks the elements, and the elements that are happening in the tub, whatever they are, let's say it's wild reishi, and you put wild reishi in this body of water around your number one organ, you flush out all that is bad. Your skin then becomes healthier. So all these beauty products that people are purchasing, think of how inexpensive it would be for young girls to walk to the forest, collect proper herbs, and then have baths with great, fantastic herbs that aren't in a bottle, aren't a fake beauty.
Mud mass?
Something that's real. And now you can also afford it. So the magazines won't post that. The magazines won't put those things out. It's all a market to make money. So people really need to step aside and just look at what's best for them and how to save money and do things that are feel better and more correct.
Everything we need is right in front of us, really.
Yeah.
We just need to return to the nature. Yeah. So I found out that she put 2 grams of mushrooms in our tea.
Whoa.
Each. I did not know that.
That's no microdose.
That's not a micro. I was, like I said, I was completely naive to it all.
Yep.
I was like, 2, that doesn't sound like very okay.
And you drank all the tea.
And
Ooh.
ate all the little.
So that would have been a wake up.
So, yep, there very quickly became a moment where I went, oh shit. Okay. And I mean, I was seeing neon geometrical shapes and everything was so fucking beautiful. Mm-hmm. And alive. And there was, during my journey, I was like, okay, I'm literally, this room is the inside of my mind, and I'm talking to myself and my other self and my other self, referring to the 3 people in this beautiful meditation room that's just full of color and vibration. And the drumming ceremony happened the night before in there. And I saw things.
Yeah.
And I experienced things within myself that it was hard, like it was the opposite of what I experience here. And
here as in where?
In non-mushroom land. So it's like,
so you're talking about vibrations.
Yes, vibration. Like,
of tuning in.
What I saw is how beautiful things really truly are, but we experience, suffering, lots of suffering. It's very easy to turn on the news and become depressed.
Well, so here's the essence of what we're talking about. You say go to the forest and get your 5 senses back.
Yes.
Now, the suppression of vibration, plastic in around your water, plastic on the food, plastic on your clothing, all of those are tuning vibrations. So you're talking about a mushroom as a radio tune-in frequency that actually changes the ability of the plastics to affect you, or the programming from the television to affect you. The mushroom is more powerful, or the ayahuasca is more powerful. And so you're an ocean that's stormy, and then all of a sudden on the mushroom, oh, you're a beautiful sunset. Mm-hmm. You're actually sunshine brown. You're actually brought the sun in. It's calm water, and you can look and observe the natural world. That's how I see it.
So how'd you feel next day when you came back down from this drug-induced high? And
honestly, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Where the fuck did I go? Who the fuck do I talk to about this shit? Because nobody's gonna believe me. Like, I didn't know. I couldn't speak for 3 days.
Wow.
Well, there's a lot of people in California and Colorado that are about to legalize mushrooms. So there's a lot of people.
I'm very excited about this. With the legalizing of marijuana, just to decriminalize it is a big step for us, and we have to keep going. We must keep going. These are medicines. Cannabis is a medicine. Cannabis is the original entheogen. It's a veil remover. It allows you to tap into your higher self and see things for the way they are.
So is this what a society would want? A society might not want everybody's veil removed. How do you go about all of the different sections or sanctions of people and control groups that then look at this and go, okay, well, we're going to legalize, we'll let it go out, but we're going to take away the terpenes, we're going to lower its value a bit, and now it's called a recreational product. So So really, we got to look at the science behind what's going on, what's
Yes.
really happening, who's at the lead here.
Well, it's become an industry now, right?
Yeah.
So now we have rules and regulations and guidelines and.
Yep. Can we still form those?
When you find tribes,
Well, it's whiskey took 20 years
Yeah.
to be legalized, from alcohol stills out in the backwoods to all the way retail stores and different ones available, and it's still growing. Craft beer is just an explosion of recent times. All of these things, I think, need to be better practices in the moment.
well, I think we can look at why it became illegal in the first place.
Yeah.
And what is the now understanding of all of that, right? It's been many years. I'm very excited to hear that and mushrooms is decriminalized here. They don't really,
In Canada.
yeah.
Very good. So that's a way for people to unveil themselves, but then again,
I mean, and how can you make something that grows wild illegal? I just don't get it.
well,
It grows wild.
Well, there's a lot of things that grow, to be critical thinking here. There are a lot of plants out there that can kill you also too.
you got to weigh in on the negative side of the spectrum all the time.
Well, you have to, because the people that are
Yes.
listening to this, you've got
True.
scientists
Balance.
and you've got people who have never done mushrooms.
Yeah.
and they
Grateful
don't-
for
they don't-
balance.
They don't have that
It's
experience.
true. That's what I'm talking about.
So these are the
like-
people you're against. You're not against me today. I'm just giving that critical thought.
No, I like it. Yeah.
Because then it gives
Thank
you to explore deeper why you're now helping people and you're advocating for people in other ways now. In the past, you were doing the industrial standard of advocation. Didn't make you happy inside.
Well, my happiness is up to me, and my suffering. I needed to go with the flow, really, with the signs. When you start walking your path, I'm not even kidding. There are no coincidences. There's so many synchronicities, and once you start to follow those synchronicities, shit starts to flow. Like, stuff really starts to happen. And I'm not saying that it's all easy, but you really I am grateful for the awakenings that suffering brings. I really am.
It's the training. It's the sort of learning, right?
I am discovering who I am. And I'm so grateful for this experience. Like, it's truly magical and beautiful.
Yep.
And it all began with the drumming circle and the medicine.
Well, and do you feel that the sound actually changed the vibration of your 80% water? So
Absolutely.
it tuned you back in?
Absolutely.
Cool.
You know that our DNA actually has a layer of water. Our like DNA cells
Yeah.
have a layer of water around it. Water has memory. Water corrects itself. So I moved out of long-term healthcare and into energy work. I took a Reiki course, and I took another course, Access Consciousness. So I do these bars, and then I took 3 levels of theta healing.
Could you please explain what Reiki is to
guys,
the rest of us?
And I do want to go back into that beginning sentence, because it's really interesting, the neurolinguistics. Long-term health care.
Yes.
What the fuck is that? What that is we're going to keep you in health care long term. So, and then
I
you
love
went
that you
into
brought that
energy.
up.
You
I
went
love-
into energy, and energy is boop right away.
So I love that you said that, because what I was shown was literally it's an industry that continues to feed itself.
Yes.
We are absolutely, with medication, keeping people alive that should have the right to move on.
Yep. Why?
When you're-
For the
when you're
paycheck?
so-
For that person just to collect that
Well, I'm gonna
money loop?
I think I'll just allow people to come to their own conclusions with
Yep.
that. But our healthcare system needs our support. It is definitely our responsibility to get involved with when there's news about healthcare and how the systems are and how people are getting injured.
How does somebody get involved? What's a first step that is actually something that could tilt the teeter the other way or make a difference?
Just check in with your authority, your healthcare authority there. So we're VHA here, right?
Check in with them and do what? What action is I'm looking for maybe something small that somebody can do.
I would say look up the local nurses union and see what they're advocating for, what's being called, like what are the issues. And I can tell you right now, they are understaffed. That's a management issue.
Violent patients.
So absolutely. And there doesn't need to be that much aggression happening in these dementia units. There needs to be more recreation provided.
Gotcha.
I was one
breath work.
I was 1 to 40.
Boxing.
I was 1 to 40 people.
Wow.
On the weekends, I was 1 to 80.
Wow.
How many people do you think I'm making contact with?
That's an emotional pull down. Because their emotions are jumping right into your body almost because you're working right next to them. I know exactly what you're talking about. That at the counter.
You're managing behaviors all day long.
Yeah.
It's exhausting on people. The workers are getting sick. I was watching it.
Wow. So being able to consistently do that week out and not get sick.
If you have a family member in long-term care, go see them as much as you possibly can. It's absolutely heartbreaking to see these people sitting there day after day, not being able to move themselves around. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Go visit your loved ones, please.
So please, getting back here.
Go volunteer.
So getting back to your story, it's a great story, by the way. What is Reiki? So people out there know what this is, because there are people out there who don't know. So you began to study Reiki, which
I'm just going to keep that real short, or that's like whole other podcast.
Yeah, please. Yeah, well, we can have you back.
It's all energy work. Thank you. Yes, it's all energy work. So, from my personal experience with Reiki, it's literally getting myself into that place, calling in the Reiki energy. It's how I ceremony. It's how I prepare. And then holding space for that person who is receiving the Reiki healing. Right? It's a collective energy. So, and actually, as far as I know, Reiki is becoming a thing in the hospitals.
So spirit healing, healing rather than body. That's spirit.
So,
you're going into the energetic part, and as a Reiki.
Yes, teacher? As you know, you have like an energy field, and your body is within that energy field. It extends outside of you. So your spirit actually contains your body, not the other way around. So if you want to receive healing in your body, you work with the spirit. Right? You are a human being, but your spirit can live with or without the body.
I see.
Right? Your soul is eternal.
And if somebody was to be a negative nabob of negativism and ask the question...
Like from the other side of the teeter-totter?
Yeah, and ask the question... Good Lord, you took me off my train of thought again there.
Energy work.
So please, I'm a negative person, and I don't know much about Reiki and the spiritual. And it sounds all kind of wishy, hippie stuff.
What do you mean hippie? You have an aura, a beautiful aura, Ken. I've watched it. I've watched it evolve.
So you actually said something, Ken. You said
I did have a question, but forget about
it. You said. Well, maybe my answer will. You said I am a negative person. And I want to tell you that the most powerful words that will ever come out of your mouth are the words that follow I am.
Yes, because it's a truth speaking, right?
Absolutely.
And you can change your truth, though. That's the beauty. Here's the witchcraft, and this is very simple. Your body of water, your ecosystem, can go from stormy or negativity to a beautiful, calm ocean by I am calm. I am loved. I am fantastic.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day. All of these beautiful words that Mr. Ken Warren, the journalist, you often speak of him.
Canada's a great one.
He's instilled this in my head.
Right.
So I think that your aura and your ecosystem can project that, and then that if it believes those things, maybe that's possible.
Yeah. So my question is to the guy sitting out on the couch having a 6-pack of beer, not worried about his aura, his personal experiences and stuff, and thinking in a deeper level. How do you?
Hey, just a minute. Thinking in a deeper level off a 6-pack in aluminum? Are you kidding me, Ken Himes? Are you kidding me right now? His hands go up. Is Jesus?
Well, you know what? A miracle can happen at any time.
Question here. Let me be a pseudo journalist and ask the question.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
How do you make me a believer, Sunshine Brown? I'm not a believer. I have my 6-pack of buds. I'm having a great life, and I don't believe any of this kind of crazy stuff. How can you prove to people? Is it through one of your sessions that they see for themselves?
Well,
is it a hero's journey of 8 grams of mushroom? They lay in a dark room and see for themselves what the world is. How do you teach people and get them on your side?
Well, I don't think that I'm here to make anyone do anything. That simply by being who I am, that attracts those who will receive what they need from me.
Okay.
So it's like
Leadership by design.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't believe in something, that's just where they're at, and in that moment, and miracles happen at any time, and we're all worthy of that. So wherever you are, you're perfect.
Okay.
No matter where you are, and that I don't offer anything to anyone who is not open to receiving. It just doesn't benefit either one of us.
It takes up your magnetism. It takes your energy feeding and going to give somebody something they're not looking for.
Right? I'm still working on becoming whole myself.
Yeah.
I experienced trauma, and I'm healing from that. I'm calling back my soul fragments. I'm becoming whole again. And therein lies my journey. And, I'm walking the path that my ancestors walked before me.
And we were talking about that, about the ocean, and about the a scientific ability of that ocean to gift you those things. So the feet in the ocean will pull those trauma vibrations that are caught in water in your body back to the ocean.
Our body remembers.
It can also take the elements of the ocean and rebuild anew. So remember that your ancestors spent a long time in the ocean.
Yes.
A long time next to all the natural things. This last 100 years of evolution and plastics and cell phones, and people need to go for swims a lot more than once a day, because then that's a rebirth of their own ecosystem in gold, silver, platinum, iridium, vibration, emotions, and cellular development.
It's also a ceremonial thing, really. You go to the ocean to be with the ocean and receive what the ocean has for you, right? You're literally just honoring yourself, which is the best thing you can do for yourself in all that you do. Honor yourself in all that you do.
Very cool advice.
So would you use mantras like, I love myself today, I love myself, I'm worthy,
Wow.
I'm good enough, gosh darn,
Fantastic.
people like me?
No, I like that. Look at this smile.
Remember that guy from Saturday Night Live?
Which guy? What did he do?
He'd say, I'm good enough, and I'm strong enough, and I'm smart enough, and gosh darn, people love me.
Well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was his phrase.
Positive affirmation.
Is that it?
Yes.
So from this day on, learning from you, Sunshine Brown, if I just start the exercise of actually practicing what Kid always does in the positive, I start saying, Kenny, you're strong, you're healthy, you're breathing, you're alive today, you're feeling. Is that part of?
We just popped the mind, Sunshine.
Is that?
We just made a hero.
I just got popped.
You brought the six-pack guy off the couch.
Yep.
And now he's
the
talking to himself in
the
a
aluminum
positive manner.
six-pack has been left behind, and the great awakening has arrived.
Kid got me off the liquor. I couldn't get off the liquor to save my life, literally.
Bro.
And so am I correct to say there is a mantra that one should practice to believe?
Yes, and my mantra has actually evolved. And once you begin to mantra, things start to happen. So mantra is like, it's mind transportation. It's mind. It's, again, a ceremony. It's like spending time with yourself.
Very cool.
Mantra. So my first mantra was gifted to me in 2012, and the mantra was, I am worthy.
Very nice.
And I repeated that mantra. I still repeat it, but it was my daily practice for about 4 years.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What did it
There
give
was
you?
a shift in 2012, and there are a lot of people that will, share that with you. There was like this shift in consciousness in 2012. And I actually, true? Did you say true? Oh, you said true. Yeah. So
Why 2012? What was that special moment for other people? What was going on in the world that time, or am I thinking too deep into this?
no, I think that you should actually journey down that path yourself.
For one, it was the end. It was the end of the Mayan calendar, the reset of the Mayan calendar.
Thank you, Robin Unger. Thank
That
you.
is one
That's
instance.
a big one.
Terrence
But still
Terrence
go into
McInnes.
that yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So yes, now I do Vedic mantras. So I know Buddhist mantra. I actually, and all kinds of mantras. Who am I kidding? I mantra.
So
I still-
a mantra means to say words with intent that are for self.
Yes.
Okay.
And in prayer, so the Vedic, it's like a vibration. It's all about the vibration. You're
Yep.
raising your vibration.
Yeah.
So actually, and
Ken,
theta healing, I took, I took all of these modules, but what I came to is that what I was actually doing was becoming my own self in my experiences of taking these different modalities. And I haven't stopped learning since then. I've taken courses, and right now I'm doing a soul retrieval course and a psychotropic plant diploma course.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where are you doing this?
It's online.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I'm doing a shamanic art therapy life coach. I'm doing all sorts of things.
You've got lots going on
but
right now.
that's like what I do for entertainment.
Okay.
And fun.
Or
Like,
for learning and
Right.
evolving.
Evolving, yeah.
Yeah.
So in theta healing, this we go to the seventh. And
What's theta?
theta is a state of we have
Alpha, beta.
alpha, beta, delta, gamma, theta.
Oh,
and
cool.
theta is basically what we're in the first 7 years of our life. We're just kind of in this,
Wow.
theta,
And-
this God state.
And what does raising the vibration mean to all the people there who have no idea what you're talking about?
Well, it's
What-
all about the
what-
vibration, right? So
What is the vibration?
we raise it. And
Well, I think the vibration is immeasurable.
Yes, measurable.
At,
Thank you.
At
Absolutely.
400 hertz, and under that 400 hertz, like homeostasis in your body is 525, which is a state of well-being, a state of calmness and clarity. If you're 400 hertz, then you're sad, you're looking around to puke on people because your energy needs to be released out of the body, and that is your aluminum cans and your plastic
Yes.
cans. So those are the tools to stay away from vibrations that might harm your family unnecessarily. Because if you're spewing negative comments to your brothers, your sisters, your husband or wife, that's not helping anybody.
Spells.
Well, you're spewing the vibration of 400 hertz.
We're always casting spells.
Yeah. So what we want to do is come from a place above 525. Maybe 700. Wow, Ken, your jacket's magical. It's cotton. That's a really good quality garment. That's making sure your health and wellness is there too. And look at that smile coming
Thank you.
up.
I wore it for you, Kit.
And whoa, look at the butterflies on Sunshine Brown. Holy cow, that's linen. That's adding color to her aura, and her aura is
color
floating.
vibrates.
Yeah, and so her aura is floating. She chooses the piece of clothing that represents herself in the colors. I often look to that as well to identify people around me. You can see how people are feeling on the inside through their expressions on the outside.
Too close.
Yep.
There you go.
It's tracking, bro.
So, Sunshine, you gave us one mantra already, that I am worthy, I am great, I am positive. That's a great one. Is there any other ones that you want to give the listening public that you think is a good one to start with, other than I am?
Definitely.
How do you do it?
Can you do a demonstration for us, please?
Yeah.
Or is it more of a personal thing?
Yes. Well, mantra is very personal, but I would actually ask that you all join in with me.
Let's do it.
So, and there's a technique to doing it, but just really start in your solar plexus. So start in your belly with that deep, and then pull it up, and then slightly bring your teeth together at the end.
I ran out of breath there.
Okay. And does the person do this for an extended period of time? What is the intention with that?
Wow.
Do it as you're driving or going for a walk. Every time you catch yourself thinking, observe the thought, go into mantra. It's very healing. So when I started to mantra, and again, what was a mantra? I had no idea about any of this. And while I was researching psychedelics, psychedelics and spirituality, I was like, I wanted to know where I went. Like, what
From the
happened to
mushrooms,
me?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what world was that?
Exactly, which is, it was all a part of my journey into energy work, and it was all just happening. I can look back and I'm like seeing that it was always just happening. I was on this path to heal, and the stuff that came up, that happened for me, it all just like unfolded one step in front of the other.
It was almost like the veil to the Wizard of Oz, and there was this little dude there controlling the whole thing.
And I was the little dude the whole time.
Yeah. So it was that quick. It was that quick.
Like, wow, yeah, I guess, what is it, 4 years now? 3 years? 2017.
And you wouldn't have it any other way, because now you can utilize what you're in and what you're doing.
What happened was, on my research of psychedelics and spirituality, I was introduced to Ram Dass.
Ram Dass.
Ram Dass. So,
who is Ram Dass? Let's go in a little bit about who Ram Dass is.
Thank you for that tough journalistic question.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
Who's Ram Dass?
Ram Dass, Richard Alpert, yeah. He is a spiritual teacher, and all he does is he goes around and he tells his story of meeting his guru. And through that journey, your own awakening, I mean, that was my journey. The Ram Dass was my journey. It could be anything for anyone. It doesn't, we're all walking an individual path. So for me, it was Ram Dass. And it's because I had an experience that I could not explain when I first laid eyes on him. And thank God I had someone there to like observe this shit, because I'm like, again, I'm still working in healthcare at this point. I'm still on this search of what is this? Yep. And so we're on YouTube, and Bodhi's flicking through these videos, and I keep hearing about this Ram Dass. I said, okay. Then up comes a video with Ram Dass and Eckhart Tolle, and I was like, oh, that's the Ram Dass guy. I want to know about him, right? Because he's all about his awakening. Basically, started with magic mushrooms.
Okay.
Right.
Early on.
Yeah, and.
So it's somebody.
So he comes on the stage. He's being introduced, and this woman says this. Listen with the ear of your heart, and it was like something came over me where I listened.
You suddenly listened from the heart rather than from up top,
right?
Do you know what that is?
What is it?
Body, mind, spirit. So all you're doing is going to the essence of you first before what the programmed mind has been trained.
Thank you for that.
Okay? This is why, that's the pathway.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Body, mind, spirit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Ram Dass comes on the TV that's hanging on the wall. I was actually painting a picture. I was in the middle of painting. I still had my wet paintbrushes in my hand, and I just literally walked away from the canvas and went and sat on the arm of the chair.
Okay.
And Bodhi's sitting beside me, and when Ram Dass came up, something happened to my body.
Yeah.
And I couldn't breathe, and it felt like my heart was stopping. I could not take in a breath. I didn't know what was happening, and I could hear my heartbeat in my ears, ba-boom, ba-boom, and it was slowing
Do you know
down.
when you focus on something so intently you stop breathing? You know that?
I did not know that.
Okay, this is what happens to most of the fighters.
Yeah.
Okay, and it happened to me the other day.
It's like watching a scary movie and you hold your breath.
Yes, you put so much intent into the thing that you're focused on, you stop breathing. So this happens a lot. And that's most likely what happened to you. You were so intent and so interested on learning from him and listening to him, you just stopped breathing and put all of your energy into taking it in. So that's...
Oh, I took it in all right.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my chest and I'm squeaking out, my heart. And the whole time this really loud vibration was penetrating the inside of my ears and my mind. And it was just like, oh. And all of a sudden, I look up and Ram Dass literally comes out of the TV, and I'm no longer sitting in my living room. And all I see is this light come out of his brow chakra and pull me right out of mine. And I'm no longer, I heard, let go, right? You don't need your heartbeat. You don't need your lungs. Just go. You're fine. Go. So I released and I went, and I was like shown this place of flowing light, and we were all dancing with ourselves just in this perfect dance of the souls. It was beautiful. And as I re-entered my body, I felt the heartbeat and the loud vibrational awe in my ears, and I took a big breath, and I was like, I looked around and I was like, oh God, this place. Now I want to go back to
Yes.
And I just started to cry. And I said to my spouse, I was like, oh, the suffering that we experience here, right? In this place of our pain bodies. And I just, what I saw is what we do to each other with these, with racism and war and industry and, we're...
So the fix is what? The fix for everybody that can deprogram and get away from these unclear vibrations.
Excellent question.
Can we cry them out? Yes. Can we go to the ocean and release them?
Yes.
Can we use mantras to change them? Fuck yeah.
I'm going to say meditate.
We need to protect this ecosystem that is us.
It is us.
We don't have to look to China. We don't have to look to Malaysia. We don't have to look to Australia. Whoop, just suck it down into our macro, into our person, and then form the mantras and the words like Great Awakening. You're a wonderful person. I love you. I'm happy.
I am grateful.
Yeah.
I am grateful.
So those are the keys.
Important.
Those are the keys.
We should begin our day and end our day with 3 things we are grateful for.
I like that.
That you literally start to recondition yourself in that practice.
There are certain religions that do practice this without the mushrooms, interestingly enough. What you're talking about, being grateful, thanking a higher power, that sort of thing. So it's very interesting. The only difference seems that it's not religion, it's Reiki. It's the spiritual journeys through plant-based
Vibration.
medicines.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lot of Christians that are doing that, or Catholics that are, using plant-based medicines.
Well, I'm sure there's some history there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
yes,
sure
yes.
there's the wine and the bread and there must be other
Mushrooms,
the time and
yeah.
Everything has a start place,
Okay.
right? So all I did was follow the synchronicities when it came to my spirituality. So I spent time in Christianity. I was very curious about religion. And because I had experiences as a child in seeing things and experiencing things, that there really are no... We don't talk about this shit enough.
Well, you're an infinite being with infinite possibilities.
Right? So I'm like this little girl.
How can we talk about them all?
Exactly.
You're infinite in all directions.
Yes.
And the words that you choose, the spells, the mantras, then become and form that water mass. So are you the champion of the world, Ken Himes? Are you the kickboxing champion of the world? Are you the Hollywood Himes, the top announcer in the world? Or what do you say to self that makes you that?
Well, after this podcast, I will be all those things. Thanks to you two.
It's pretty uplifting, isn't it?
It is uplifting.
Because I just realized, hey, what am I? What? Hey, what?
What a
where am I
beautiful
going?
question.
Where am I going today? What am I doing today? And so I think that we have this gift of, it might be witchcraft, it might be spell casting, it might be just using common sense in your practice of who you are, what you are. To yourself, the community, to a greater spirit, and taking action upon that.
So what I experienced about witchcraft is that it's basically your own spirituality. You are tapping into your own self.
So to demystify the word.
Yeah. So, I'm not really that informed on the Wiccas or whatnot.
Yep.
I do work with the energy of the earth, and I ceremony with things because I understand how powerful my words and intentions and actions are.
Yes.
And when you tap into that stuff happens.
Yeah.
We're doing it
And
anyways.
that's
We're doing
sport.
it all the time anyways. So that's, to me, that is what witchcraft is, and that's what a part of my spirituality is. You know, I have a beautiful altar, and that altar is a reflection of me, so I spend time with my altar.
What else should we call it? I think it needs a new word. I think
What's that?
it's like, instead of witchcraft, it should be like, my ocean vessel.
Yeah.
My
Call
Kit,
it whatever you want.
Kit,
it's
the
yours.
vessel that floats with his hands and feet.
Why not self-craft?
Self-craft.
Crafting.
I think that's a good
Crafting
call, because
ourself
then
with our
then
own
people will
words.
question. People will go, hey, what is spellcraft? I'd like to find out what that is. Look who we have. Spellcraft. Right on the episode, we got Richard.
I love Richard. I
Yes.
actually know Richard.
We're gonna have to bring him into the show.
And what's Richard's background?
Welcome to the episode.
Richard is a grandfather of,
Good uncle.
I think, 2020.
And with about 10 minutes left,
Yeah.
Hi, Richard.
You can share the mic.
with about
Richard just walked into the room. We got about 12, 13 minutes left.
I was going to come back out and have a visit there soon.
All right.
So have a seat on the right there on the chair.
So we've been preemptive here with Richard's presence walking in here. And what would you like to say to Richard? Or how do you want to do with it? We got about 10, 11 minutes left.
Well, we're discussing spirituality and body, mind, and spirit, and healing and the ecosystem of self, and we're just talking about ways of going to the ocean to alleviate those, crying, tear ducts, using those as a tear to alleviate trauma. And maybe Richard had some other martial arts type ways of dealing with trauma, or using your skills. I say MMA because I'm a sport guy, so I think of the sport way to get the job done. And what we're really doing is just discussing how we can heal from so many vibrations of the city, and what techniques you might have for our readership or listeners.
Well, first and foremost, I offer the caveat that I'm not a spiritualist or trained in this field.
Yep.
However, the training that I've received through my grandmother and my mother mostly,
So this is matriarchal teachings.
well, I learned things from my father as well, but this refers to being a good human being. That's how our society was able to function.
Yep.
And but in the practice of spiritual practice and good health and all those kinds of things, one of the things that I learned early was the need to trust in something far greater than we are, and that's a teaching that I think is prevalent throughout the world.
Higher power.
Yep.
Yeah. And I get a chuckle at people who get all excited about what names we give different deities that whatever our belief system is. The way I got it figured, whoever created this universe is not going to mind too much the names that we call them,
Yep.
or her, or it, or whatever that is, So, but the practice, there are some protocols and procedures that people have developed over the years, some with instruction from their prophets and spiritual leaders that they've had in their belief systems. In ours, it's definitely smudging is a practice of that in and of itself doesn't provide the spirituality. That there is simply a recognition that as fallible human beings, if we want to come into the presence of something that is for sure far more powerful than us, but in the worship or in the pursuit of light as opposed to darkness,
Yep.
we come as imperfect beings. So we use the smudging to not cover our faults, but to recognize that we have faults. So the mindset that provides you for the opportunity to practice the kind of spiritual balancing that you have a need for, and I'm pretty sure most of us.
Sunshine did a smudge today of the whole space and created that opportunity. So that's really cool.
And it's but the actual spiritual health.
Yep.
I don't think is tied to a particular physical practice or even a routine or a prescribed course of conduct.
Mm-hmm.
I think when particularly if we speak of the Creator, we're talking of a being that permeates every atom in the universe,
Yep.
as my belief system lends itself to my understanding.
Yep.
And so a person who is a quadriplegic and incapacitated to the point of very little ability to move or do the kinds of things that we other human beings have the privilege of enjoying every day,
Mm-hmm.
I believe their spirituality is no different and certainly no less.
Wouldn't it be stronger in its workout?
Well, I would only guess, but I would think.
It's a journey.
Robin?
Itself. It really is.
Can you speak on this, please?
Can you ask me a specific question here? I'm kind of
Does this
lost in the buttons over here at the moment.
Does your spirit change in the challenges that you have over somebody that has less challenges? And I what I thought was, well, you'd have to be very strong. You'd have to be very strong-minded. And what challenges have you faced?
Well, for those that don't know, I had a neck injury in 2007 that put me in a wheelchair, C6 spinal cord injury, and so I've faced the challenges of relearning how to live life in this new body, and it's definitely been a challenge over the years. And I suppose I've gone through. We've been speaking of all sorts of different ways to improve our mindset day to day, and our.
Can we go to your camera? Or
I suppose here we go. Okay, there we go.
There he is. Handsome son of a-
Everyone can check out our to-do list.
I know
there as well.
we're like you're speaking and running running everything. It's the
Sure. But yeah, the methods like Sunshine was talking about earlier of positive affirmations and things in the morning like that, those are very important in my world in terms of making.
Have you've been doing mantras and that kind of practice?
Well,
or?
the three grateful, starting your day and ending.
Can you get on the microphone there, please?
The practice of gratitude.
Yeah.
It's something I'm really stepping into. It really directs the energy of your day
Very
and
good.
ends it. That's the same way. Gratitude. You're, again, spending time with yourself and recognizing where you are in this journey and having appreciation for that.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I've found has definitely been very important in my mental health over the years. There's been ups and downs, but being positive to oneself is extremely important. And so with 5 minutes left here, maybe we could each give an example of something we're grateful for that helps us stay alive every day, wake up and be happy in the morning, and
I'm very grateful I wasn't. I'm
Go
very
ahead.
grateful I wasn't fixed like my little dog Tigger was, because I think that my fixtures. Well, no, I'm honest. My fixtures give me life and give me energy and testosterone to carry on this journey of a quest of unyielding vibration.
What handsome fixtures you have.
Interesting. Ken?
Oh my God.
Well, I guess I'm really happy that I got down here to do the podcast and get this spiritual whatever is floating around in here, or whatever everybody's smoking, and realize that life is important, that people care about me. I'm working in an environment that isn't the industrial environment that I'm so used to after my life of wasting time and energy and drinking myself to death, because this is what I'm really thankful for. I'm getting the honest truth of what's going on in the world. Thank you very much.
We love you.
Yes, we do. And
Sunshine.
I would wish for you to experience yourself and see yourself through my eyes. Ken, I just think you're great, and I would wish for you to experience that sight.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful
very
for
much.
this conversation today. I'm so grateful, Richard. Oh my God. Like, could that have ended any more perfect? I love that you came here, and hi, nice to see you again. And
For a lot of us that don't know, what is the strength of this man that walked in here? Because everyone got it except me. I know Richard from time to time.
he's just Richard.
but he's a very well spoken gent.
Yes.
Richard, would you like to give a brief bio of yourself in any capacity you feel comfortable?
Sure. At the age of 5, entered residential school, survived 7 years of that. Cut my teeth in the petroleum industry as a young man in terms of a vocation. After 8 years of that, realized that I was going in the wrong direction. So I turned home and returned home as well. And took on the challenges that the Indigenous people are facing today. I spent 35, 40 years working in the industry. People called it anyway, the institutional industry of Indian affairs, where they have held us captive and continue to do so. But I just wanted to add, if I could, my Thanksgiving for today and every day really is that we have the opportunity to write history, write our page in history every day. We have the responsibility, because the knowledge that we gain in this life always carries a commensurate amount of responsibility. And I've learned over the years that the conversations we're having now about rights and injustices and wrongs and that kind of stuff, there needs to be some discussion about responsibility. And that's my purpose now, is to engage in discourse that provides positive options that are available to us all, because we all are caught in a circumstance where we don't have the control necessarily. We live in a society that has rules and laws, and as was exercised recently, this place was dealt a legal blow of some sort, or at least
just a financial blow,
a cease and desist order. But,
yes.
So in that Thanksgiving, I also want to recognize that throughout the world today, we are experiencing unparalleled human rights violation, to the point of, babies freezing in the cold while the leader of their country or the government of their country attacks them with, untold manner of weapon that.
We've dived into that, Richard, and we looked at the ecosystem of self before the outer. And I think that if we focus on the outer first, we'll fail the inner one in our space.
The inner part of this?
No, the inner part of you, of your ecosystem.
This statement of observing that this stuff is going on in the world, and it's going on in every continent.
Yep.
My responsibility in having that knowledge is to release into the spirit realm the purpose that I have for the good of humanity worldwide.
Yep.
And it sounds like a magnanimous or huge statement, but as one person, out of 9 billion or whatever the count is now, if every one of us were thinking cooperatively, it'd be quite amazing. So I'm thankful for that.
Excellent. And Jeremiah, you got to get up there and tell us now what you're thankful for, because Robin Unger started this and we're going to finish it beautifully. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So today I'm thankful. Today I'm thankful for you, Robin. For you, and for you. I'm deeply thankful. Blessed. I'm blessed.
Right on.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Jeremiah.
Thanks, Rob.
And we're going to continue Sunshine's story on our next installment
Was
with
someone
her.
taking notes?
It'll be Ken's been taking notes up there. But Ken, would you like to wrap us up for the day here? And
Well, thank you very much for listening to the 1620 podcast, the High Noon Robin Unger Show with Kit the Commish, Warren, Robin, Jeremiah, Armstrong, Richard here. I'm Kenny Himes, Ken Hollywood Himes, the entertainment guy that's not shy. And thank you so much for listening.